Okay, bonjour à tous. Hello, everyone. While photographers are at it for an extra couple of seconds, let me remind you that if you want to ask the question, please raise your hand a little bit ahead of time so that I can see you and so that the microphone can get to you. When you have the microphone, please stand up, introduce yourselves, ask the question, and sit down. The press conference is going to last 30 minutes, not one more. So go straight to the question. Thank you very much. Also, for the first time, we'll take questions that have reached us through social networks, Twitter and Facebook. So I will have to accommodate those also. And if I make any kind of blunder, snafu, or any bug, blame me. Thank you. Photographers, yeah. As it happened the first day, the jury, Ms. Leila Hatami, Mr. Jia Zhangke, Carole Bouquet, Willem Dafoe, President Jane Campion, Mr. Nicholas Winding Refn, Sofia Coppola, Gael Garcia Bernal, and Joan Deon. Okay, sorry. And the first question I will probably throw from Twitter. Were there films that you had to see twice? Everybody jump in if you want to. Were there films that you needed to see twice?
No.
Okay. That came from Twitter. Also, what do you make of what you saw this year as an ensemble?
Well, it was very extraordinary, and it was an extremely diverse ensemble of many variations of filmmaking. Films that were classical, films that were very radical, films that were very much about the future of cinema. There were performances, there was cinematography that were all very much about what cinema will eventually become. And I think that it was a wonderful year and a wonderful time, all of us. And we finally shut up Godard and gave him a prize.
Great. Was it what you expected the first day of the festival, or just before the festival started? Gael?
No, actually, no. It wasn't anything like I would. I mean, I was open to all possibilities, and I found myself happier and happier enjoying each film as time went by. I became like a proper cinema goer, and it felt that I was also tapping into my first experiences in cinema. The first time that I went alone to the Cinematheque, skipping school in Mexico and then going to the Cinematheque in Mexico City, it felt a little bit like that I was discovering something that a world, an authorship, a reality, something that felt very far away from me. But when seeing it in the cinema, I realized how close we were. And this was my experience that was just escalating, and now, you know.
Willem, Carole, Ms. Coppola?
What I love the most is listening to all of them talking about what they liked and defending the movie they loved and why, and arguing for the movies. And to me, that was a beautiful experience that gave me the will to do more movies, you know. I mean, keep on going. Thank you to them, all of them.
Willem?
Selection was good. These are good people. It was an interesting process. It was really a great adventure and a creative adventure.
Oh, I love the experience just to watch so many films from all over the world, and many films that I would never have had the chance to see, and then to be with our jury and to be able to discuss film. It was a great experience, and I had a great week.
Ms. Joan de Jong?
우선 선입관을 갖지 않으려고 유명한 감독이든 그렇지 아는 감독이든 그렇지 않은 감독이든 선입관을 가지 않으려고 노력했고요. 영화 볼 때마다 또 이 여기 계신 심사위원들과 생각을 공유하고 영화 이야기를 하는 되게 놀라운 경험, 즐거운 경험을 했던 것 같아요. 너무 소중한 시간이었던 것 같아요.
I tried to not have any preconceived idea before seeing the movie, any preconceived idea from the director. So I was really happy to enjoy all the movies with different the juries and to share with them all these discussions. It was a very precious moment for me.
Go ahead, Mr. Janke. Go ahead.
集中的看了18部竞赛片，我觉得让我们能够了解到世界最新的情况跟电影最新的情况。
So watching all these 18 competition films let us have a chance to know more about the world films.
我觉得也很享受跟其他评委一起工作的这个经验过程。我们是一个互相提醒、互相启发、互相感染的一个过程，像一个家庭一样，很享受。
I'm very enjoy to work with the other juries. We work like a family. We help each other. We argue with each other. And we got a result.
Mr. Tommy?
Pardon. Il n'y aurait pas mieux que pouvoir regarder
It's wonderful
tous les films
to be able to watch all the films in the Cannes
et en
competition
plus être jury.
and to be a jury member.
En ce qui concerne mon expérience avec le jury,
As to my experience with the jury,
j'exagère vraiment pas, mais
I'm really not
j'étais dans un
exaggerating
jury,
at all when I say
quand je dis professionnel,
that the
je veux
jury
dire vraiment dans le
was
sens
professional in the
des
sense
gens qui connaissent très bien le
being
cinéma,
comprised of people who know the cinema extremely well
pas personnel du tout,
and who don't have a personal approach in the least,
avec des critères
who judge the
cinématographiques.
films according to cinematographic criteria. It was a very great pleasure to share this time with the other members of the jury, in addition to the friendships we
First
struck
question
up.
Here, second question there, third question there.
Good evening, Peter Hall from the Toronto Star in Canada. Congratulations on your artful diplomacy. I'm just curious about the decision to split the jury prize between the youngest and the oldest directors here, Xavier Dolan and Jean-Luc Godard. Was that by accident or by design? And why not split the Grand Prix or the Palme d'Or instead? Thank you.
Go, Jane.
These decisions are kind of made by all of us, and it's amazing. We do come to some results because we are all, thinking individually. But I love Mommy so much. Such a great, brilliant, modern film, and such a young director. Really, kind of like a genius, I think. And when I saw the Godard film. I wasn't expecting this, but I was actually blown away by it. I really loved the experience of the film and found it so modern, and the fact that he throws a narrative away, it's like a poem. So I found myself awakened, like, this is a free man. It was very moving for me. And I think that to couple them together, we were aware we were doing it. The oldest director, and all of us directors here, we know we owe a lot of our lifeblood to Godard. You were saying Nicholas's film Breathless really changed cinema and made it modern, and it's so wonderful that we've had this opportunity to heartfully give him a prize. We wish the dog would have come and got it. We knew he wasn't going to, and we would have given him a golden bone. But
Before I get to you, sir, I will add to what was asked here about youth, and to top it, Xavier Dolan had a sole ode to youth. The questions come from junk, no offense, from Twitter and from Igor Asanovich from Facebook. The first question is, did you evaluate known filmmakers or filmmakers who had got already big awards the same way as you did with the young beginners? And two, how do you see the chances for young directors or young people from developing countries to step into the world of films? Take it away, guys. We have 3 days.
Well, I would say that to ask the last question first, I think that one of the interesting things about Mommy is that it's the technical revolution. You know, the idea that filmmaking is no longer an elitist club as it was 100 years ago, but it's for everyone, and everyone has accessibility to it, and anyone can create a story. And you can use your iPhone, you can get some actors, and then you have a movie. There is no excuse any longer for not to do it. And I think that was one of the things we also wanted to give with Mommy and Godard, that there was this kind of, in a way, we need to understand the technical revolution has made it so everyone has ability, distribution-wise, it's out there. You know, we're all watching a television screen nowadays, everywhere we go. So sky's the limit.
Anyone on the jury wants to add anything?
The first question is, we really watched each film on its own merit and tried to look at it just for our emotional response to that film and not think about where it came from, I think.
Thank you. Question over there, sir.
Good evening. Yishun Kang from Cine.com. So this year we have more than half the jury members who are female. And we have two films. One is Alice Hochwasser, and the other is Kawaze Naomi, who are female filmmakers. And personally, I've seen both of the two cast and crews walking onto the red carpet, and finally, only Alice Hochwasser got an award. So I don't know how would you compare the two films made by female filmmakers and what happened to Kawaze Naomi's.
Interestingly, I'd just like to say straight off, it never entered our discussions the gender of the filmmaker, not once. So we were really, you know, these films were on equal basis with each other. We didn't go, oh my God, is this made by a woman or a man? We were moved and responding to the film.
Hi, Roger Friedman from Showbiz 411. I think they were great choices. Two things. One is, was it a straight vote or was there a lot of negotiating going on in the last rounds? And if a few of the jurors could just say things that surprised them about each of the films that did eventually win, something they didn't expect.
Well, you know, the voting is finally, you know, we can talk about the movies and discuss them, but in the end, we don't know who voted for what. It goes in a bucket. An ice bucket, actually. And we have to have a majority. It has to be at least 5 votes for each film to get the prize, yeah?
Mais ayant juré enfin, plusieurs fois, je pourrais précisément répondre à votre question.
I could answer your question in the following way. There were discussions.
Mais jamais d'opposition. C'est-à-dire qu'on
there were never opposing views.
On parlait là-dessus.
We talked about each film. We shared our views and opinions.
On s'aidait entre nous à s'orienter.
And we
C'était plutôt ça.
ended up reaching a common stance.
I'd like to add too that a lot of us liked a lot of the movies, and some of us liked some of the films, like Naomi's film. I mean, I think we all appreciated it, but we just didn't have enough prizes. That's you know, a problem that makes us debate longer.
Question over there.
Hello, Jack Mulvin from The Times. Sorry, I'll wave instead of standing.
Thank you.
Can I two questions? One for the whole jury. If there's anyone on there who is a dissenting voice who feels that maybe they wish something else had won. And secondly, to Lena Hatami, and I'm sorry this is not about the prize itself, but there has been some controversy relating to your time here at the Cannes Festival back in Iran, and I'm wondering if you are planning to return as normal or if you are making other plans.
I will take the first part only, sir. Thank you. Go ahead.
What was the first part question?
If it's in a dissent.
Does anyone want another film to have won?
We can't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, the secret jury business.
Mike, le micro peut venir là? Where? Okay, one over there. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Natalie from Cable TV Hong Kong, and I've got a question for director Jia Zhangke. You said that this experience in Cannes is like falling in love with all the movies you've seen. So can you tell us more about this romance? 我有一个问题想问一下贾樟柯导演，你说过你这一次在加拿大的感受，看那么多的电影，就好像跟他谈情说爱一样，所以整个过程是很痛苦的，或者是也有很甜蜜的时候呢？
谈恋爱主要是甜蜜吧。
Mostly very sweet experience.
整个这个看片的过程，我觉得的确是这些影片充满了一种启发性。我觉得首先我作为一个观众去用情感感受这些影片，然后作为一个导演的职业，这些影片有非常具有启发性。
As an audience, watching all these films are so touched. I was so touched by all these films, but as a director, it's very inspiring. Inspired. I've been very inspired by all these films.
我特别高兴，那个杜兰能跟戈达尔一起分享这个评委的奖，因为这两部影片它分享给了我们一种自由跟发自身体内在的一种激情，我觉得这就是电影最可贵的地方。
The most exciting moment should be the jury prize shared to Xavier Dolan and Jean-Luc Godard. So these two directors, their works are so passionate. You can feel the passion and freedom inside from their bodies.
Yeah. Question here, then here, then here.
Hello, Cathy Mullen, Belgian TV, RTBF. Two questions for the jury, Jane Campion and whoever wants to answer. I would like to know why the Palme d'Or to Winter Sleep. And also, did you get yourself restrictions or instructions not to give prize to people like the Dardens brother who already got a lot of prizes here in Cannes, or didn't that matter? Thank you.
There was no restrictions about prizes for films that had already won a Palme d'Or or any other prize. The first part of the question, what did I love about Winter Sleep? You know, I was a little afraid by the film when I looked at the list and went, 3 hours 15. I was scared. You know, I said, oh my God, I'm going to need a toilet break, you know, blah, 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 you know.
We were all scared.
Yeah, we were all scared. But I sat down and the film had such a beautiful rhythm and took me in, and I could have stayed there for another couple of hours. It was really masterful. And for me, it talked about, you know, things in that sort of Chekhovian cycle. I see it like a Chekhov story where the characters torture each other, but very cleverly. And I saw myself in all of them, and it was sort of a confrontation. So I thought it was very sophisticated. Many great reasons why that film has won, but those are my choices.
And as the director said on stage when he got the award, it's absolutely wonderfully timely for the film to get the Palme d'Or because it's the 100th anniversary of the birth of Turkish cinema.
Oh, wow.
We knew that.
I didn't, thank you. Question over there.
Hello, my name is Lutz Meyer, working for Stern.de from Germany. I have one question on the political content. There were a couple of films which had debate, and especially the Leviathan movie, which you gave a prize, and also Mr. Ceylan expressed a political message. So in what extent did that play a role in your discussions and in your decisions? Thank you.
I did not understand that question.
Yeah. Did you say that Xavier Dolan's film Mommy was political?
Okay, here and here.
The Russian
film.
Movie, the Russian movie.
I mean, I think that we all, I mean, after watching all these films, every single film has a political complexity, the same as it has a sexual, spiritual, just any spectrum of humanity. And so I think the political aspect sort of was present in our discussions, but wasn't isolated. It was always part of this kind of axis where films are discussed, which are many. And so we never isolated them in that sense to talk about them. We just talked about the film. Really.
Question here.
I think the word that Jane used the most was freedom. You know, every time she could find, you know, an artist, I mean, with his, you know, free speech, that's what she was looking for. And all of us, I guess, in different ways. But I mean, that's what we were trying to get together, all of us. So it had nothing to do with really with a political statement at all.
I do, you know, I remember from the discussions, Leviathan got a lot of reaction from the jury members who were very impressed by the storytelling and, well, it's the story of Job, so it's more biblical in a way than political maybe, or both. Yeah, we discussed and talked about it a lot, and we loved the performances and the script and the whole film.
We'll take 3 more questions. When here, when there, and there. Go ahead.
您好，我是来自中国的记者，然后我想提问一下贾樟柯导演，然后这一次来到这里，这些奖项当中做出决定最难的是哪一个奖项？I want to ask director 贾樟柯, which prize is the most difficult one to choose or decide? Thank you.
可以说每一个奖项都非常困难，因为我们都要经过非常慎重的讨论。
Each award is a very difficult choice for us.
Okay. Question here and there.
Hello, Thomas Adamson from the Associated Press. This is a question for Jane Campion and any other female member of the jury, or anyone else that wants to answer for that matter. In Winter Sleep, I thought it was a fantastic slow-burning film, but the female characters in the film, I felt, wow, this isn't the most amazing depiction of women. I found that at certain times the women seemed selfish, they seemed very arrogant, they seemed very angry. I mean, everyone has been trumpeting, and I know it's been overplayed, about, you know, the feminist aspect of this year's Cannes Film Festival. Why did you choose this film, and what did you think about the female characters in this film particularly?
My God, I loved the females in this film. I really loved the sister. I thought she was so complex. I mean, the point is, when you portray an ideal, you're kind of betraying reality, and that's no help to anybody. It's, you know, Wonder Woman, etc. I think the real gift of this film is how honest it is. It's ruthless. You know, if I had the guts to be as honest as this director and writer is about his characters, I'd be proud of myself.
I think that is proof that we didn't consider anything apart from the actual film itself as a work of art.
Go ahead.
Karen Batt for the Huffington Post. A question for anyone, but Jane Campion also. Okay, I had difficulty grasping the film Les Merveilles, and it could be, and I was wondering if you could help me get into the film and understand why you gave it the grand prize, and if you can explain it just for my own understanding. Thank you.
Well, I think me and Sophia want to speak jointly. We all felt it was an incredible spiritual film. It was terrific performances, but I think that what got me was, I mean, I cried at the end. And that said something that maybe I just really couldn't understand, because I think the film has so many deep elements that I can't say, you know, exactly what it was, but it was a combination of everything. And I think that, you know, how the movie ends was an incredible execution, because I didn't expect that. And I was taken into another world. A bit, I felt like I was flying an airplane that kept on going up, up, and up.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all thought it was poetic and told with beautiful photography and the acting and the way she worked with this family and really created a world, and it was touching.
You should see it again.
Yeah, we also really loved the main girl in it. I think it was Jesselmina.
Yeah.
We just thought she was like life, you know, she was so real. It was like she brought you into the experience, into the moment. This film for me really crept up. And after a while, I felt that Alice really created a very real world. That's one of the reasons I loved it. And you know, it was, I found myself present in the movie because of the way she told the story, her camera, her work with the children, and the story itself. It was modern, it was sophisticated, yet it was also, you could feel already that it was a memory about.
I like a camel.
Yeah, about life. He likes the camel.
On that note, I'm afraid our time is up. Thank you very much for being here.
عالی بود انتخابتون. خیلی عالی. آفرین به تو. این با همتون. خیلی انتخاب خوبی بود. یعنی میدونی که دیگه چقدر دوست دارم مردم چیزو. جیلانو. برای بذار عکس خوب ازت بگیرم. عجب داستانی هم برات درست کردن. یه عجب داستانی هم برات درست کردن ها. آره من یه دونه ولی از اون عکس گرفتم به جا افتاد. یه دونه. نه بابا نه اصلا. نه گوش کردم به خدا پاکش میکنم. آره میدونم.